Hello everyone. Students, today we are going to discuss about repeating processes in our game designing unit. What do you mean by repeating processes is that it's a set of something which comes in the category of control statement. Control statement are divided into two types. Okay, we have the conditional statement which you have already seen before, wherein we have used the concept of if conditions. How the if condition used to work is if the condition value was true, which gives me a boolean result, true part, then a particular block of code was executed. If the condition gave me a false boolean answer, then another block of code was executed. In the similar to the control statement, we have one more concept which is called as the loop. The loop itself tells us the purpose, the title itself tells us the purpose, that is we want a block of code to be repeatedly executed again and again, that is to be executed by the computer, by the processor. Okay, it could be very useful when you make games. Say we want a person who like a walking animated event, that is the person is walking, so we can have the person, some images can be set and it will be assigned to a loop. So it could be a walking person could be shown there, so it's something which I want to be executed again and again. Okay, so let's see with example, but the condition, the execution remain the same. We have a loop condition, we would be having a loop condition. If the condition is true, then a set of command would be executed, and this command would be executed every time till the condition is true. Once and if the condition become false, only then this command would be stop execution. So it is like if the condition is true, execute, again check, condition is true, execute the set of commands, again check. Okay, so like this process goes on, that's why it's termed as the loop. So we have the syntax here, students. In if condition we used to have the boolean expression, and in while also we have the while is the syntax for making a loop. We have two ways, we have while and for. This example I'm introducing to you the syntax of while. Okay, and we in both with if and while, both places we have the boolean expression. Okay, if the boolean expression in if used to be true, then the body of the if was executed, but it was executed only once. While in while, the body of the while would be executed each n number of times. When what is that number of times? Till the boolean condition is true. Each time it's true, the body would be executed. Each time it's true, the body would be executed. Whereas in if, it was executed only once. Okay, so we need some way around, like to at a time that we want the body of the loop to be executed. Okay, but it should also terminate, the program should also terminate, the program should also stop. It should not happen the while loop body is repeatedly getting executed. And what is the basic criteria to terminate the while loop is that somehow we have to make the boolean expression to give me a result of false. If the continuing condition needs to change and eventually become false, otherwise you will be stuck in an infinite loop. So if the condition statement doesn't become false, it is true always, the processor would be printing it again and again. Okay, so we'll see how we deal with it. Okay, so there somehow need to be stopped also. So student, for dealing with it, we use a concept of iterator. Okay, and each time the body is executed is called iteration, one iteration, two iterations. And to make the program terminate also at times, not to be an infinite state. Okay, we use we use iterator variables. Every time a loop runs, it is set to iterate. This process is called known as iteration. A variable that changes each iteration and is part of the loop's continuing condition is called iterator variable. Iterator variables are often used to track how many times the loop has to be iterated. It's a very important concept, student, here, very important term here. Iterator variable are used often to track how many times the loop has to be iterated. So this, it monitors it controls in a way. It tells, okay, fine, the loop block printing part, you give me this many times, then you stop. So it, and we need to use an iterator variable. If you notice here, students, we have a variable defined and the value is assigned to 0. When the program enters into the while, the basic criteria for executing the body of the while is that the condition should be true. Is the condition true? Is 0 less than 10? Yes, 0 is less than 10. So the processor will enter into the body of the while. It will display whatever is written in the body, and now this line gets executed. We are taking the help of iterator. What we are telling the iterator, we have written I equal to I plus 1. Always equal to's right side value is given to the left side. So it will start from the right side. Initial value of I, current value of I is 0. 0 plus 1, the new value of I becomes 1, and then the processor will not terminate immediately, though it sees the closing of the while. Okay, this the while is has the power to make the processor to check himself again, check for the condition again. The processor will check the condition. The new value of I this time is 1. Is 1 less than 10? Yes, true, 1 is less than 10. Since it is true, again it will enter into the body of the while. Again iterate for the second time, print what is written inside the while. The new value of I will become 2. Again the while loop will tell the processor, before you exit me completely, check for the condition. Check whether the condition gives you false result or not. You have to execute me, the processor, you have to execute me till the condition gives me true result. The condition gives true values. So I value become 3, 3 less than 10, 4 less than 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, when it become I value becomes 9. Is 9 less than 10? Yes, 9 is less than 10. True, come into the body of the while. Print, execute, the new value of I would become now 9 plus 1, that is I would become 10. Is, then again it will check, is 10 less than 10? No, this time it's no, this time it's false. Since it is false, the value of 10 won't be printed. It will terminate, the processor will take you outside the while loop. So it is printing from 0 to 9. That's why the loop will run 10 times starting from 0. Okay, student, so we'll see with examples, okay, how to work on it. Okay, it's very interesting and easy. So we have the for loop also, only the syntax purpose it varies, the way of writing it varies, student. In while loop we divide into three blocks: the condition, okay, sorry, the variable declaration, the condition, and the iteration. They are in three separate lines written, whereas in a for, the declaration of the variable, the condition, and the iteration is written on one line. So if you understand while and for making would be easy. So this is one task which you will be doing. This would be as an assignment for you to try. You'll be exporting the arc function and using the loop concept which would be taught to you in the lesson. You have to make something like this, a dartboard. Okay, so now I will go into the processor and teach you how to work with it. Okay, so students, when I, okay, so this is my processing environment. Okay, and let's start our coding. Say I define a variable int I equal to, I can def any variable, it's not necessarily I to be used. I write a variable, say a, is a equal to 1. Okay, so this is the declaration of a variable. We can comment it somewhere. It's called declaring a variable and assigning a value. So it's have two things happening. We are declaring a variable of type integer, and we are also assigning him an initial value of 1. Now students, I will write my while condition. Okay, to further start off with, students, let me just explore further with you all. Let me do some trial and errors with you all. What you guess if I write up here, say a direct value, no condition, no checking, nothing, while false, and I write print, okay, inside while. Okay, no iterator, nothing use, just will my program run, syntax error, Okay, what could be the result of this code? Okay, so students, when I see my program, okay, or when I try to execute my code, student, it gives me an error. Okay, we need to specify with some condition here. Okay, to start off with, if I write, okay, say with a condition for now, say if I write a less than 10, okay, as it was in the slides also. So I'm writing with a condition this time. Okay, some checking is to be done. So now if I write and I print the value of a, that is value of a, okay, value, print the value of a, that is plus a, okay, and print ln will cause the output to come on a new line. Okay, now students, let's understand line by line. A is 1, it will check, is 1 less than 10? Yes, 1 is less than 10, true. Come into the body of the while, print the value of a, that is 1. Okay, I purposely not written the complete program for now, student. Then the while closing is there. Okay, the processor is about to go out, but the while command, okay, will force the processor to check his condition again. Okay, and the process it and the if the process if the condition is true, again the processor would be told to execute the while block, which will happen in this case. Since I'm not changing the value of a, the a value is remains 1 only. Second time also it checks a value is 1. Is 1 less than 10? Yes, print a. Third time again check a, print a. So student, when I run my program, it would be in an infinite. So you can see the value of a is getting printed 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It's like infinite loop. Students, so we have to use our iterator variable well. Iterator variable will be useful to decide whether you want the program to be executed infinitely or whether you want to terminate it also. So I'm using my variable a, I'm telling the condition is 1 less than 10, but then I can specify till when it to be executed. So student, how we start with the syntax is, okay, see, for any program when you write, okay, whenever the teacher gives you a program, say I give you a program, okay, to display numbers from, I'll tell you a very easy way to do it. See, if I give you a program, display numbers between 1 to 10. So numbers between 1 to 10. Okay, fine. Okay. So what you will do, student? Very easy way. You have a starting number and you have an ending number, right? So in the iterator variable, write the start number. That is one. Okay. And in the condition, mention about the end number, which is 10. And now it's a range of 1 to 10. So you make it write in a condition in such a way that you allow the processor to enter into the body of the while. Okay, so I'm writing a less than equal to 10. A less than equal to 10 means, okay, yes, is 1 less than 10? Yes, 1 is less than 10. So I'm making him to allow into enter into the while. Okay, and I'm printing the value of a. Okay, the value of a, give some space. So what will happen? The value of a would be printed 1, and then I am changing the value of a to a new value. So that I'm giving him the scope to not repeat 1 1 1 every time. I'm changing the new value of a plus 1, the new value of a will become 2, 1 plus 1 2. Again the new value of a would be checked. Is 2 less than 10? Yes. Yes, true. Boolean value is true. Come inside the while loop. Print me the new value of a, which is 2. Again, incrementation would happen. 3, check, print. 4 5 6, like this go on, like this it will go on. When the I value reaches 10, when the new value of, sorry, a value becomes 10, it will check, is 10 less than 10? No, 10 is not less than 10. Okay, 10 is equal to 10, but I've not written an equal to sign here. So 10 is not less than 10. So the output of this program would be from 1 to 9. 1 to 9. So student, I am giving the processor a scope to terminate also. So we write in a way like, okay, you declare So deal with it properly, like start point and an end point. Okay, and then the increment part. Student, if I tell you to write a program to display numbers from 10 to 1, so see now how easy it becomes for us. So my start variable is what now? This time is not 1, it's 10. So I change to 10. My end variable this time is what now? Is not 10, this time is 1. Okay, and I want to display in descending order. So I am starting with 10. Then I have to go to 9, 8, 7 like this. So I should be not using plus sign but a minus sign. And the condition should be fulfilled. Okay, if the see if I don't change this arrow sign here, if I keep the old one, what will happen? It will check, is 10 less than 1? Okay, no, the 10 is not less than 1. In the first iteration, when is 1 to enter, the condition is false. Since the condition is false, it will not go into the body of the while. So whatever is written inside while, it won't be printed at all. If I run the example now, nothing would happen. It's a blank console screen. So students, I tell him that you enter also, and with the iterator give the scope to exit also. So when I write now 10 greater than 1, yes, 10 is greater than 1, print the value of 10. Now new a value become 9, 9 greater than 1, print 9, 8. Like this it will go on. When I value reaches 1, is 1 greater than 1? No, because I'm decrementing it also. It will reach a scope of 9, 8, 7 like this. It will reach to 1. Is 1 greater than 1? No. So now it will not go into the body of the while, and I'll be getting the output from 10 to 2. Getting output from 10 to 2. But the program states print me numbers between 10 to 1. Okay, why give me 2 not 1, students? Because when it a value, when a value became 2, okay, uh, minus minus became 2 here. They check, is 2 greater than 1? Yes, 2 is greater than 1. It will print the value of 2. Now a value becomes 1. Is 1 greater than 1? No, 1 is not greater than 1. Though the a value became 1, but because of the condition here, it didn't enter into the body of the while, because 1 is not greater than 1. So it didn't enter the body of the while. That's why the 1 value was not printed. If I want to display 1 also, I should be writing with an equal to sign. Now when I run my program, the a value will reach up to 0. Okay, but it will give me till 1, because when it becomes 0, 0 greater than equal to 1, no. So then it gives the scope to come out of the loop, because there is a no, there is a false answer coming. Okay, student, same way if I, so it's like playing around with these variables. Now student, one very important thing I have mentioned to you, always whenever we give you a program, display, this now become very easy, display numbers, okay, between, okay, 1 to 20, or say display all odd numbers, display all odd numbers. So I know a start and I know an end. Start is 1, end is 20. First you change that. Okay, and then you look at the condition, giving the scope to enter. So 1 to 20, so I'll be checking, I need to make the program to enter it also. So I'll be writing 1, okay, 1 less than equal to 20. Okay, and so that yes, it will enter. Now what about the iterator? How much to increment? Since it's odd numbers, okay, odd numbers, that it requires a jump. Start from 1, then it should go to 3, not display 2. So I'll write here plus 2. So what will happen is that when I write in this way, I value a is 1. Is 1 less than 20? Yes. Print a value 1. A becomes 1 plus 2 becomes 3. Again check, is 3 less than 20? Print 3. Now 2 would be skipped, 2 won't be printed at all. Okay, because the printing is happening with plus 2 increments now. So when I run, I should be getting output from 1 to 19, which is all the odd numbers. So 1 to 19, students. So in this way we can see how we can deal with the looping concepts. So 1 to 19. Okay, so students, yes, so we can decide upon how to display. And okay, so now I want you all to give a try to these examples. In the lesson I'll be giving you a number of examples to try. First you get familiar with the basic syntax, basic way of writing, students. Okay, and then we can then you can explore. It's very interesting to try the loop concept. Okay, we have declaration, we have the condition, and we have the incrementation or decrementation also. Okay.